Good morning, everybody. It's an honor and a privilege for me to be here with you this morning. When Brian first asked me about speaking, I said no first. And I said, I don't know really what I can share because ours is just a story of perseverance and struggle and starvation and then some success. But just to tell you a little bit about our company, many of you are business owners, I know, you all have homes that you close the door on in the morning and you come back to in the evening. And it's kind of staggering to think about all you're closing those doors on when you leave. Your personal property, your real estate, your intellectual property, your databases. And in the case of something horrible that happens, a fire or something like that, that's what we seek to provide to you. We are a life safety company. We do fire sprinklers, we do alarm systems, we provide monitoring, we do extinguishers, and we've been really privileged through the years to do some of the most iconic buildings in the city. Sykes Chapel is one of our most beautiful projects that we've done. I would challenge you to go in there and find the fire protection system. Dr. Vaughn was a real partner in that and was determined he didn't want anybody to see fire sprinklers in that building. So they're there, but they're difficult to spot. We just finished Avatar with Disney. We've done many Florida hospitals, so we've had some really nice opportunities here in the Central Florida area and into South Georgia. So how did we get here? How did we get our start? My husband Ron and I were married in 1976, and both wanted to go to college, and we made the decision to come back here to Tampa because I wanted to go to graduate school at USF in speech pathology. And Ron was going to school part-time in engineering and just needed a job. And he found a sprinkler company that offered him a job, and he worked for an entire morning carrying pipe inside a building and finally got the nerve to ask somebody, if we're putting in a sprinkler system, why are we carrying the pipe inside the building? Because he thought they were doing lawn sprinklers, but he's learned a lot since that point in time. He now knows that the pipe goes inside the building. The company began to grow, and my dad offered us an opportunity. He's really the one who was a silent partner with us when we decided to start our company. And we were 27 years old and had absolutely no idea all the things that we didn't know. And we started out in Tampa with construction work, ground up kind of things. And Ron was our salesman and our designer and our project manager and our installer, and he did it all. And I was sort of working behind the scenes as I could because I had my graduate degree in speech pathology, and by that time we had 2 little boys, and life was just kind of crazy. But we were very fortunate in the very early days that some of the biggest, most well-known contractors, general contractors in the area, offered us an opportunity. The Skanskas and the Becks and the Manhattans and folks that you still see around today gave us a chance and came to learn that we would not promise something that we couldn't deliver on. We would not take work that we couldn't complete with integrity and with quality. And that's still the mantra of our office today. Our company is just founded on the philosophy of doing the right thing. We have it down the hallway, excuse me, in our office. We've got a big blue banner that says, do the right thing. And sometimes that's not the popular thing, and sometimes that's an embarrassing thing, and sometimes that's an expensive thing, but the right decision is always the right decision, even though it may not be what you would like to see happen. So by the 90s, we were experiencing some good consistency with the work, and Ron came home in 1999, and I'll never forget it. We were around our little dining room table with the boys, and he said, we're at the place now that I need some help. We had gone from 84 to 99. The company was growing. By this time, we had about 60 employees, and he said, if you ever think you want to come in with me, if we're going to make a team of this, this is the time. I need some help. And I just really couldn't imagine what I could bring to this company. Everything I knew about fire protection, I had learned through osmosis in being around the dinner table. And I had a great career in speech pathology, but still the draw of working on something together was just very, very appealing to me. So we made the decision that I would come to work there. And by 2005, it was magical. I know those of you who have been in business for a while experienced 2005 It was so good. We had so much work. We were turning work away. We had money coming in. My dad decided at that point in time that he was going to sell his shares of the business. I bought them, became the majority shareholder. We became a woman-owned small business. Our son graduated from college and decided he wanted to come to work for us. Just brought a whole new aspect of wonderful talent to the company. And I said, man, we've got money in the bank. We should go on the world's greatest vacation. We should retire. And my husband said, we should put it in the bank. We should put it in the bank. We should put it in the bank. And then 2008 and 2009 happened. And fortunately, we had not retired and we had not gone on that awesome vacation. And it was just a real struggle. And those of you who were around in those years know, those were sleepless nights. And our company was small enough that we were really a family. We knew our employees' kids, we knew their birth dates. The idea of taking health insurance away from these families was just, there's no peace with that. So we made some really, really tough decisions. Rather than eliminating any jobs, we decreased everybody's hours, we decreased everybody's salary, and that was from laborers all the way up through senior management. And we didn't lose anybody during that time. We also decided that we needed to do some things internally to try to grow. So we hired an expert at that point in the area of alarms, and he brought some new talent into the company. My husband also made the decision that we needed to acquire some new businesses, which I was like, you're telling me we need to leave that money in the bank and now you want to spend it buying something else. So we acquired this little specialty business in Ocala that did primarily service and inspections, which means recurring income. We purchased another company that was losing, we just purchased their assets in Jacksonville. So that increased our geographic footprint. So the guy that we hired up there had licenses in several southeastern states. So we just looked for creative ways in every way that we could to protect our business. And fortunately, we had incredible growth between 2005 and 2006 of about 73%. And then by 2010, we were half of that again. But we had those strong relationships in place with folks that we had been doing business with. And by 2011, things started to improve again. And we had a whole new set of problems at that point. We grew by about 33% between 2012 and 2013, and again by 33% in 2013 and 14. And for the last 2 out of 3 years, we've been named to USF's Fast 56, the fastest growing companies internationally that are led by bulls. We were named one of the fastest 100 growing companies last year in the state of Florida. And so while that's wonderful, the challenge for us right now is there is no skilled labor out there to do all the work that there is to do in the Tampa Bay. And everybody in the room is nodding their head. You're all facing the same thing that we are. So now we have a whole new set of challenges. I like these challenges better than the other challenges. We offer every new laborer that comes into our company a full 4-year scholarship and apprenticeship school. Those young people can then take that with them any place that they go. They graduate as journeymen in their field. We have been very fortunate over the long haul to have both of our boys working with us. Our son Chris is not a direct employee with us, but he owns Cox Digital Arts. And so he does all of our really cool marketing and media things. Our son Scott agreed to come to work for us initially for 2 years. He thought he did not want to go into the fire sprinkler industry because all he knew was what he had done growing up, which was cleaning out the bathrooms in the shop and sweeping the floors, and that's the way he grew up in the industry. And we promised him if he would come, we would not make him do any of that. And Scott is really, we learned, just kind of a roll up your sleeves, lead by example kind of guy. And his sales soon started to exceed all the other salesmen in the company combined. And it was just so exciting to watch him grow and develop his own style of leadership. And it really was not clear to him immediately that he wanted to take over the business. That's kind of where we are at this point. But it's only been within the last 3 years or so that he knew that that's where he wanted to be. It's been great for us as professionals and as parents to watch that happen. Scotty really has a brilliant mind, and he's here, and I'm saying that in front of him, so don't listen. This is proud mom here, but he really does. And he actually got the best of both styles of leadership, I think. And it's always challenging when young leadership takes over an existing company, a company that has experienced some success, because you're leading people that are older than you. We had very loyal customers that were used to working with Ron and me, but the process was such a gradual one that it just became a very natural process. Our company has been so blessed in so many ways that we've made a very intentional effort to find ways to contribute back to our community. And for the young people in the room, I would say to you, that's such a critical part of success. Find something that you can be passionate about and invest yourself in that and work to be on the board of directors of that, whatever it is. It connects you with like-minded people. It opens so many doors. I would encourage everybody in the room, if you haven't done it, to interview for Leadership Tampa. I was so fortunate to have one of my new life heroes, Renee Vaughn, as our class chair. And it was such a life-changing experience. 2014, if you have not heard, is the best class ever. We just have to get that out there. Several of my classmates are here today. Just kind of in closing, I want to just say a couple things. One thing that I wish I had come to terms with much earlier in my career is that I wish I had understood much earlier on that my style of leadership is a legitimate style of leadership. In my mind, in the very beginning, I could just never imagine myself as a successful businesswoman because, number one, I thought you needed to be a little taller than what I am. Number two, in my mind, I visualized the successful businesswoman as that authoritative, pull off the power business suit, be able to speak anywhere to anybody on the spur of the moment, and I knew that was just not me. And it took me a long time to become comfortable in my own skin and understand the skills that it is that I bring. I think, if you are an affiliative leader, an empathetic leader, it brings some things to the table that the authoritarians don't always have. My husband, Ron, is such a visionary and such a strategic thinker and sees the big picture always. And I am very task-focused and love the people and love team building and mentorship and all those things. And the piece that Scotty brought was just a piece that we were so missing. He is our pace setter. He is the roll up your sleeves and do it better than anybody else leader and motivator. So I would say, recognize that in yourself early on to the young people in the room. Figure out what it is that you have to bring to the table. Be good with that. Surround yourself with people who have different skills than you do. But there will come times that you have to do things that you're uncomfortable with. And I'm getting better at that. I think part of that just comes from often being the oldest person in the room. I'm much less intimidated these days than I was back in the very beginning, just usually because I'm thinking, really, no. I've seen it 70 times already. I think it takes work to be a good leader. You have to work at that no matter where you are, no matter what your position is. Find places that you can learn from people that are better than you. Write notes to people. Every employee in our company gets a birthday card with a little $10 gift card in it. And so many times I've had guys come up to me and say, yours was the only birthday card I got. Nobody else, no family. Write notes to friends, write notes to supervisors. People at the top need to hear, thank you, you're really appreciated. You did a good thing. You made me feel good about myself. So I have a stack of cards on my desk. Just write notes. Write a note a day. The last thing I would say is just work hard to keep life in perspective. My favorite place in the world is Bryce Canyon. Love Bryce Canyon. You go there and you stand there and look at all this huge stuff, and it just helps you remember how tiny we all are and how tiny our universe is that we think is so huge. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today, Brian. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you all.